2, 1.
3, 2, 1. Sunday Night Live. Live again. We're back.
Woo!
Missed us. We are.
Woo!
We're here.
All right.
We're here.
Yay, there we are.
All right, we're on. We're good now.
I think we are.
Yay.
Hallelujah. We did it.
We're so happy
We're
to
back,
be
you
live.
guys.
Yay.
Woo!
Okay, we're good. So we are back live, Sunday Night Live. So here we are.
Real live.
Guys, the past few months, I hope you missed us. We are so excited about all the new topics that we have coming up, and we know that you will be too. We're going to give you just a little bit of a tease about the things we're going to be talking about, so you know you do not want to miss this. Jennifer, tell me some good stuff.
Okay, so you guys, we are starting next week. We're going to be back talking about all of our favorite topics, just like we kind of did before. So we're going to be picking up with H, and we've got planned out for the next few weeks what's coming. So some of my favorites that we're going to be talking about. Immortelle. Oh my gosh, I love Immortelle so much. I cannot wait to tell y'all why. So that's going to be in a couple of weeks. We're going to talk about Melaleuca, which I have to tell you in the beginning was like the one that I was the least excited about. And now it's the one that I'm like the most excited about and use every single day. So I'll tell you about that. And we're also going to be talking pretty soon about Mito 2 Max. And I will tell you how literally one day I hadn't taken it and what happened to me about 15 minutes after I took it. There we go.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
I know.
That's awesome.
Roxy Saran has a part in that story. So I'll tell you.
All right, I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued about that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. Amy, what do you got for us?
Well, I can't wait till we talk about the spring oils, since we're talking about spring, that double as a sexy perfume. And I've actually picked all of my herbs. So I love having like a plethora. I'm going to give that word like some exposure tonight. A plethora of choices with my sexy perfumes now. And speaking of my scratchy throat here, because apparently Virginia, which is where I am right now, apparently Virginia, not pollen as bad as Houston, but apparently what I hear is this area has the most people that have issues with pollen that have never had issues before.
What's in the pollen in Virginia?
I don't know.
Virginia pollen.
But everybody, I lost my voice a couple days ago, so these have been coming in handy.
Yes.
Have these yet?
Ooh, brand new ginger drops.
Yes, very soothing to my throat, and ginger came up on my Itobi scan, so I was like, I'm gonna invest in some ginger, doing ginger tea and stuff. So that's what I'm looking forward to. I know we've already covered G, but that's also what I'm looking forward to coming up.
Those then, so I think we can still do that.
Well, I'm excited to hear more about your special perfumes, Amy.
Yes.
If anyone else wants to hear more about special perfumes or, you know, and hashtag asking for a friend, just drop that right there, hashtag asking for a friend. It's not about you. That's cool. We'll answer all your friends' questions.
We will honor that you're asking for a friend and not for yourself.
We won't even second guess you on that. We'll just roll.
What about you?
Oh, what?
Yeah, what about you? What are you looking forward to?
Excited about?
What about you, me? Like, I'm not asking anything for a friend.
Change the subject really fast.
In my favorite oils. Yes. Next week we are jumping in with H, and I'm really excited because helichrysum is one of my fave oils. I'm going to tell you how that saved my life at the little gym one time. That's a great story.
Oh yeah, and I was involved in that one.
Yes, you were there.
I also have a helichrysum story too.
You know, you do oils long enough and you have a story for all the things, for sure.
Really good.
Also coming up soon, lime. So I'm going to tell you why that is my husband's favorite oil.
Oh,
we like that.
And I think we'll be talking some about LLV. And I know that's going to be the spotlight for doTERRA next month. So there'll be lots of great information about LLV, like Vitality Pack. And, you know, we could do a whole Sunday night live just on LLV. It's so fantastic. So I'm excited to jump into that too.
yes. Yes. How long have we been gone? Where have you guys been?
Oh, you know, just hanging out. No big deal. Some of y'all know me. May or may not have had a daughter that got married last weekend.
Why your nails look all nice.
Yeah, see my nails, my pretty wedding nails. Yep. So there was that. There has been, let's see, Jake doing neurofeedback. There has been craziness at work, and there has been building my doTERRA business. So Melissa and I were both in a push with Jim and Amy where we were really working on growing our businesses and had lots of, I think, really great results from that, a lot of growth from that. And, you know, we're learning things that we're going to be able to implement with our teams moving forward. So that was really, really cool. But yeah, you know, just twiddling my thumbs. That's all I did for so long that I had to take like a week sabbatical this week and just like tune out because I was like, I don't know. I felt like I was going 140 miles an hour for about 4 months.
Yes.
I got sick. I got bronchitis.
Oh.
And so I'm finally, I think, maybe getting over that. So no oils and
you have your tools at your disposal.
Exactly. I don't know what I would have done without that stuff, honestly, because it like breathing lime and cardamom and the diffuser was amazing. I mean, like there were just so many things that I was so grateful that I had those resources available to me, because when it's a week until your daughter's getting married and you're coughing, hacking like you're going to die and you have a voice, you're like, okay, I cannot go down the aisle like this. Like this is not going okay. And yeah, so there was a little panic that set in, but everything worked out fine. And the day went off with, well, I would say without a hitch, but they got hitched. So I can't say it.
I love it. I love it. Where have you been, Melissa?
You know, I've just been doing life, man. I've got those 3 little guys and we're just always going and busy, homeschooling and swimming and jiu-jitsuing, and also
and you started neurofeedback too.
Yes. Also doing
neurofeedback. I feel like we could do a Sunday night live on that, man.
Yes.
We actually could.
Yeah, so comment below if you would like some more information about neurofeedback. If you're like, what is that?
What does that even mean? I'm asking for a friend. What is
that? Seems like if you can't even type that, just be NFB.
That stuff.
So you don't have to type all that. If you want to know more, if you're like, what are you even talking about? Yes, this is phenomenal. This has been.
And you know where else you guys have been? You guys have been forming a local moms group.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, we have been doing that.
Holistic Moms of Houston. So if you're in the Houston area and you don't know about this group yet, just comment below, I want in, and we will get you hooked up. I'll get you the link for that. So this is not just a Facebook thing, although we have a Facebook group, but we have meetings every month. We're bringing in speakers, just trying to, you know, spend more time with people who are like-minded, finding our tribe.
I love that. Now, does somebody have to be oily to be a part of that?
Do not have to be oily to be a part of that. Halfway holistic is what you need to be.
I love that. Now, and with somebody's like, what does that even mean? What is holistic?
Holistic is naturally minded. So you are looking for ways to do things more naturally. So oils are a part of that. It's not the only. Maybe you're looking at clean eating, green cleaning, detoxifying, those type of things. And you just want support doing that, or you have questions. That's what we're here for. And why do I say halfway? Because nobody's perfect. And you know, sometimes I pretend that sprinkles don't have dye. Like, no, it's white icing. Sprinkles don't count. Eat the cookie.
Mhm.
That's
It's
life.
all
So
true.
this is a judgment-free zone. Nobody's going to shame you, holistic mom shame you. That is not going to be happening.
Nope.
I
Not-
love it.
Ooh, the other thing
Awesome.
we've been doing, we've been teaching classes in Porter at Hobby Lobby, and we have been teaching people how to make aromatherapy bead bracelets.
Yes.
And I have been doing some teaching together. We love doing that. We're going to keep doing it. And so we've been kind of over the Kingwood, uh, Porter, New Caney area, but we are looking to expand over to my neck of the woods. So we're going to be starting to build a partnership with a hobby or a Michael's in my area. I've got 2 or 3 that are fairly close to me that I'm going to start talking to. So for that, we had a couple of people ask if we had listings yet for the classes and everything. Melissa and I are working on firming that up, so we'll have more details available. But that's something that we really enjoy doing together, and we're loving it.
Yes, we have done a
Awesome.
real deep dive into the emotions. Both Jennifer and I have learned things that we did not know about the emotional.
Every single class, we learn something new.
Every class, fantastic new information. So if that is something that intrigues you and you want to know more about the emotions and oils, say that below, just drop that line, emotions. So that's something we can talk more about, the emotional properties of these oils. And if you're local to Jennifer and I, definitely drop in for a class.
Yep.
This is going to be awesome because we're inviting kids to make bracelets for the mom lady in their life for Mother's Day weekend.
Mhm.
What a great idea. That totally speaks to my learner heart, because when you're saying that you're learning something new every time, I'm like, yes, of course.
Seriously, no. I mean, like, okay, let me give you an example. Somebody that we know and love who is a frequent flyer here on our Sunday Night Lives
Program.
was at one of our bead bracelet classes, and she had experienced a really significant loss. And we were talking through different oils for, how you handle that. And she was drawn to breathe. And we did not understand why until we pulled out the emotions book, and it said breathe helps you literally, it helps you to be able to breathe again, but it also helps you to be able to let go of a grief that is just like all consuming, right? And so we had like a moment with her where she just came to this realization that there was something that she had had for years that could actually help her with this. And she was in tears, and so was I, honestly, because it was just, so like when we say we're learning something new, we're learning something that we can take and share with other people, and people too. And it never ceases to amaze me because, the emotions are my thing, right? And I think I know so much, and then I learn all these new things, and I'm like, oh, I have so much to learn, so, and
Yes,
it is, we just keep learning, so.
yes, yes.
Mind blowing when you see those connections, like, okay, breathe helps me breathe.
Mhm.
But then when I'm so choked with emotion that I feel like I can't breathe, I feel like I'm suffocating, breathe can help you with that emotional aspect. And that's just, wow.
Absolutely.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, I have just been traveling across the country following the pollen, or maybe the pollen's following me. I'm not really sure which it is. Maybe
You're following the pollen. You need a new plan.
I literally feel like we've been following the pollen. And our family hit the 1-year mark of us traveling full time in our 5th wheel. And we are still in it, as you can see. So we still don't know what we're doing. But but God's leading us every step of the way. In February, we ended up unexpectedly in Florida. And we went to a conference called the Send Conference. And just before that, we had started connecting with some families that were also traveling full time, and they really didn't know exactly why. And we have since met many families who have, interestingly enough, said similar stories. Like, I don't know why we're traveling, but we just felt like God told us we were supposed to sell our stuff and get on the road. And so last week we actually met up there were 5 families of us that connected and spent a full week dry camping, or what it's also called as boondocking. It just means that you're not connected to anything. We spent a week in a church parking lot, honestly just developing community with each other. And I don't know, it's almost like when you're camping with a group of people a little bit. But it's a very interesting experience because it's not like anything we experience when we're in our neighborhoods, right? And it's certainly not something we seek out on social media, but it's social media, right? So we don't really get community. I mean, we're seeking it out, but it's hard to get across online, right? And so we were developing community with these families and praying together, and really just trying to seek what God wanted for us. And we've coined the term, we're the Great Gospel Caravan. And we are actually with 4, we've left that place. We've traveled 2.5 hours to another place. And there's 4 of our families. Actually, there's 5 families still, because 4 of the families are now in the same location again we're staying in a family's yard. So technically there's 5 families, because the family that lives in the house, that's the 5th family. And they must be crazy too, because I'm like, you realize you have 4 families staying in your
just let all of us come crash in your yard.
That's awesome.
And they live in Fairfax, Virginia, which I don't know if you know anything about the Northeast, but land is very hard to come by. And so they happen to live on 2 acres. So they have enough space for all of us. But they're literally like 30 minutes from DC. So anyway, it has been an adventure, to say the least. And we're just expecting God to do big things. And we're excited about what God has next for us. And we've just been spending time really trying to pour into more people's lives in an intimate way, in a way that you don't really get much these days with people, unless you really, really make a big effort, right? And so it's been good being challenged in my faith, and just deepening my faith. And so it's been a neat experience so far. So who knows what we're doing next? We might be traveling back west. So hitting some more time zones, I think. I'm not sure.
Swing by Houston on your way through.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, I do know, I'll just put this out there to Facebook world or you guys. In June, for sure, we will be in Oklahoma. So, and yes, that is tornado season. And yes, we live in a 5th wheel. So it's not the best timing, but that's when we're going to be there. So if
next
you
play Where in the World is Amy Miller?
So if you are in the Oklahoma area, or if you know somebody in the Oklahoma area, and we'd love to connect with you guys, we'd love to come to your church or come to your house to connect with you. We can teach a class, whatever you guys are open to. We are coming that way. So and who knows, we may not be in this anymore, but we may still be traveling. So I'll just put that out there. There's a lot out there right now. There's a lot. We're asking God for wisdom to know what we're doing next. So
it's really cool that you said that, because I think I'm in well, obviously I'm not in the same place that you are, because you're in Fairfax, but I'm in the same place in that, it feels like this last 4 months has been such a blur. And I feel like when I started the year, my work is intentional. I feel like I've been really intentional with my time and what I've done. I've worked, but it's also been go, 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 kind of nonstop for a bit. And so I decided that I was going to do a few things this month, but for the most part, I was going to take a step back and just really kind of pray and really seek God in, okay, what does the rest of this year look like for me? Because the cool thing is there are so many opportunities on the table, but the thing that I want to make sure that I stay true to is what it is that he's really calling me to. And so I'm taking some time in the next couple of weeks to really figure out, what that looks like. And I think that, I think Melissa and I are kind of both in similar spots where we're just really starting to kind of go, and the fun part about this is we can figure out how we're going to do it together because she's my in. So, that's how that works. But I'm in the same spot. I'm praying through a lot of things. I am seeing God do things that I did not think were possible. Right, Melissa?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Did not think that were possible at all. And so it's just been a really cool thing to see. But yeah, I'm kind of there with you.
Yeah. We definitely feel like we're stepping into a new season. And God has those different seasons for you. And when you step into them, we've talked about it. It's when you have even a weak yes to God. He'll even take that weak yes. And that's when he opens things up. I feel like that was what happened to us when we first got the fifth wheel and we were in Houston and the hurricane hit. And I felt like I didn't know how my kids would respond to getting rid of all of their things. How's that going to look? What is that going to look like? And God took our small yes. Okay, we're going to move forward in this. We're going to get the fifth wheel. And then the hurricane hit. And how much easier it was to be able to let go of all those things that we were letting go of when everyone around us needed all those things. And how much easier it was for our kids too. And so that taking that simple yes and you entering into a new season of life of how God just opens the way for that, to be able to step out in faith in that.
Sometimes even when you're arguing with him and telling him no, he still is gonna. At least that's been my experience. I don't know if anybody else has experienced that, but I have experienced that. There you go.
Yes. Well, I'm so excited about having us all being back and us going over these new topics and everything. Aren't you guys?
They're all caught up with us, and we want to get caught up with you. As always, this show continues to be about you guys and what is important to you. So make sure you vote in the polls about what topics are important to you. If there's something, a burning question you have, post it here or post it in the group, and we're going to make sure that we cover those things because this is about you guys.
Yes. Well, we're looking forward to digging right in next week, right?
Brought to you by the letter H.
Yep.
Okay, you guys. We'll see you guys next week.